everybody, it's Jersey Guy. No. This isn't back-to-back Jersey Guy fan reaction. It's just a favor from me for the intro to this video. Johnny doesn't know I'm doing this because all he did was ask me to edit this and upload it so that he could watch Game 2 of the World Series and see if his D-backs could tie the series. I'm doing this as a favor to him because I just know a large portion of Leaf fans are going to find this video by accident looking for Leafs highlights or looking for Steve Dangle's recap of this game. I just want to say that the majority of Leafs fans I'm quite okay with. But for a portion of them that love to troll Johnny because apparently jump cuts are owned by just one person and having a secondary character in your video can only be done by just one man. I love Steve Dangle and all, but those annoying Leafs fans who find these videos through 5 seasons now of Johnny doing Preds fan reaction videos, cool it down, okay? Hockey is supposed to be fun. Reacting after the game is supposed to be fun. Okay, on with Johnny's reaction video. Everybody's hands go up, way up, as the Nashville Predators defeat the Toronto Maple Leafs by a score of 3-2 in overtime on Saturday night inside Bridgestone Arena. On a night where Reilly scored 2 goals against his former team, maybe Steve Dangle was onto something when he said former Leafs always have big games against the Leafs after they leave them. An outstanding game, 33 saves by UC Saros. The Preds special teams goes 2 for 5 on the power play. And my captain finally breaks out of his early season slump in a big way in this one. It's Toronto's lone visit to the Music City this year. Wonderful that it would be on Hockey Night in Canada. Preds are playing their last of their 3-game homestand before they go on the 5-game West Coast Canada CMA award show road trip. Liam Foudy makes his debut in this one since being claimed by the Preds off of waivers from the Columbus Blue Jackets. And I find it kind of strange seeing the Preds play their road whites at home while the Leafs are allowed to play in 7 o'clock mental clock. Obviously on Saturday night, they should have to play at the local start, and they get to play in their dark jerseys. Both UC Saros and Ilya Samsonov, who was in net for the Leafs, are tested early in this game. First potential break of the game is a cough-up by Ryan McDonagh. He did not have the best game out of certain players on the Preds roster. William Nylander gets a partial breakaway, but UC Saros denies him. Maple Leafs with a slight edge in shots as we reach the halfway point of the first period. Just over 7 minutes left in the first period. Leafs have a 2-on-1. Austin Matthews and former Pred Calle Jarnkrok have a 2-on-1. And they get close to scoring, but are denied by Saros. But it does draw a Forsberg slash. And unfortunately, you can't always keep this high-powered Leafs offense down, as we know from plenty Leafs games against the Preds before. And eventually, William Nylander gets a one-timer on that power play of Forsberg in the box. Leafs with the early 1-0 lead. A couple minutes later, though, after the Leafs have taken the lead, TJ Brody of the Leafs gets tagged for roughing Keither Sherwood, and the Preds would go to the power play. On the ensuing power play, eventually the puck would come to Roman Josi along the left wing board to Samsonov's left, and he backhands it down low to Ryan O'Reilly just behind the net to Samsonov's left. He carries the puck. He's allowed to skate right in front and snaps it through Samsonov's 5-hole. This game is tied at 1. Preds would get another power play before the first period would end on a John Klingberg trip, but are unable to score. Fortunately, they do have the 1 goal. This game is tied at 1 after the first period, with the Leafs with slight edge in shots, but we'll see if UC's up to the task. For the first minute or so of the second period, the Preds maintain possession of the puck in the Leafs zone, but can't buy a goal to get their first lead. Then, just over 2.5 into the second period, the Leafs have a good rush of their own. All their big guns seem to be on the ice at the same time on this rush, and they ring one off the goalpost. The Preds escape any danger. Just before the 5-minute mark of the second period, Ryan McDonagh with another bad play decision in his mind, some reason to go cross ice to Alexander Carrier, and Mitch Marner picks it off as those two try to race back to save the day, but UC Soros bails out both of them, and this game remains tied at 1. About 9 minutes into the second period, Roman Josi can see the Leafs napping on a line change and gets a cross-eye stretch pass to Yakov Trenin, who gets a partial breakaway in on Samsonov but is denied. Just over 7 minutes left to go in the second period. It's the Leafs' turn to attack in the Preds zone. It seems like it's a power play, but it's not. Leafs pinching in, follow the bouncing puck in front that Saros cannot cover up, and he's not getting any defensive help, and a pinching Mark Giordano gets in there, gets the puck into the net behind Saros. Leafs retake the lead up 2-1 now. But shortly after the Leafs retake the lead, the Preds are back on the power play thanks to former Pred Calle Jarnkrok for tripping Colton Sissons. On the power play, it's big, burly, former Maple Leaf, number 90, Ryan O'Reilly, right in the right position, and off of a shot by Philip Forsberg, O'Reilly is able to tip it home past Samsonov, who has no chance. Big, burly Ryan O'Reilly has helped his team to tie this game back up at 2. Preds with some momentum now. They would carry on and kill off a Colton Sissons slashing penalty on Jonathan Tavares. Period eventually expires. This game is still tied at 2. After 2, Leafs still with an uncomfortable edge in shots on goal in this game. Leafs would get called for too many men on the ice early in the third period, and though through some solid possession and some chances, the Preds are unable to take the lead. Leafs continue their strategy of getting a high quantity of shots on Saros, but the more you feed him, the more he stops you. Almost 8 minutes into the third period, Alexander Carey gets called for a delay of game penalty, and probably the Preds' best penalty kill of the night. They buckle down. They don't allow the Leafs to get any prime scoring chances, and they keep this game tied at 2 because they're hungry to win this game for the former Leaf who now calls Smashville home. Well, the Preds would get just as great a chance as ever to retake the lead, as the Leafs would get called for too many men on the ice. But before the Preds can get set up and do anything with this opportunity, the Leafs get a shorthanded chance going the other way, and Tyson Barrie in an attempt to get the puck, and it looked like on the replay to me, and I heard Preds fans on the replay that they saw that it looked like he got the puck, but the refs called him for tripping. And of course, I'm watching this game on CBC, government-funded broadcasting in Canada, Hockey Night in Canada, and of course they said it was a good call. Nothing happens with the ensuing 4-on-4. Best chance was by Yakov Trenin. Then with the shortened power play the Leafs had, they can't score. Eventually, the shots on goal are much closer in the third period. The Leafs hung on to the puck for like, what was it, a good 30-40 seconds just going off the clock. The Preds are content to get a point and get this game to overtime. Maybe the Leafs should have seen if they had any gas left in the tank because of what's about to happen in the fourth period. But albeit that's the end of the third period, this game is tied at 2 after 60 minutes. This is the Preds' first game of the season that has gone past 60 minutes. Preds would get the first possession of the puck off of the faceoff, but eventually would have to backtrack, looking for another avenue into the Leafs zone. Another zone attack by the Preds would allow an angle at an empty net, but they can't get the shot off. Just under 3 minutes left to go in overtime. Tommy Novak leads a charge into the Leafs zone, and he gets the puck over to Luke Evangelista, who sees his captain. And once I see this on replay, I'm wondering what the heck was Austin Matthews and John Klingberg doing, because they allow Roman Josi to skate right into his shot, and he lets it go and beats Ilya Samsonov in overtime. Preds walk it off, win this game 3-2. Josi's first goal of the season is a big one, and the Preds climb back to NHL 500, 4 wins, 4 losses. With 3 days off since the Preds' defeat by the Vancouver Canucks on Tuesday, I was afraid the Preds would look a little rusty in this game, and at times perhaps they were, since they were so massively outshot. But the Leafs were at the tail end of their current road trip, so perhaps they were a little tired, anxious to get 2 points in this one and hightail it home, but they took the Preds a little bit for granted. But Again, never underestimate a team that has the better goalie playing in the game and a star who, yes, for a short time used to play for the other team, but he used to play for the other team and he chose not to play there. So you knew this team was going to be fired up to try and help Ryan O'Reilly get the 2 points against the team that had him as a rental last season. But these days, I'm really going to have to go back and crunch numbers and look at the Preds free agent signings. I think I've always talked about the prospects the Preds have developed and players the Preds have traded for, but have I really ranked at the Preds' best free agent signings? Yes, it's early. It's only 8 games in. But the trajectory that Ryan O'Reilly seems to be on, leading from the front, on the first line, accepting Bruno's system for this team and his leadership with the younger guys, I could very well see this free agent signing by the Preds, thank you Barry Trotz, being one of the best this organization has had since they got Paul Kariya. As I mentioned, the Preds are back at NHL 500, 4 wins and 4 losses as they depart starting this week on their 5-game West Coast road trip that will take almost 2 weeks as they leave town so Bridgestone Arena can be taken over by the CMA Awards. Please, Preds, out of a possible 10 points upcoming, I would love if you could bring home at least 6 of the 10. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, click a like if you liked this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. You can find my social media by clicking on the channel name. And tell all your friends about Redemption. And you know what? It's always a sweeter Preds victory when your team wins on Saturday night on Hockey Night in Canada.